So mostly the reason I make videos is for the baby elect, because the baby elect, especially these days, they're looking for truth. They'll scour the internet looking for some truth. Now they old old seasoned believers, mature believers, when it's harder to fool them. They're not easily fooled. But young believers, especially young, if you're like real, young in age, old in age too, but mostly young in age, you come on the internet and you see people like this guy here telling you something that's obviously not true. I mean, it's so ignorant that it's ridiculous. But a baby believer can be tripped. So that's why I'm here. I'm here for the baby believers mostly, to just show you some basic Greek and teach you basic Bible in a short period of time, so that you won't trip when you come across stuff like this, what this guy's going to say. So I'll just get into it real quickly, then I'll tell you why this guy's probably doing this. So he's got why it's true. What he's doing is he's going through the book of Romans because he made a mistake in a debate, and he's trying to save his face. I think that's why he's doing it. It's kind of sad. So he's going through the book of Romans now because he made the claim that the book of Romans, at least up until chapter 8, is about the Jew, like Jews only, like blood Jews, which is so ridiculous. That's why he's trying to save his face, and he's come up with something now he's called a a ambiguous antecedent. And this is something he's sort of discovered. Now, I've discovered this thing here. You're not going to believe it. And this is my reason. That's why it's true that the book of Romans, at least going through in chapter 1 through verse 15 or something like that, is only about Jews. And so he'll go to Romans. First he'll go to like Romans 1, chapter 1, verse 13. And he'll say that the you in there is an ambiguous antecedent, or because of the ambiguous antecedent. I'm not sure he knows what antecedent is. That means just Jews. So let's look at the verse. It's so obviously dumb, man, but I got to do this, for the baby believers, who can easily get tripped. And then what he'll do is he'll go down here to verse 6, and I mean, he'll say, this you are just Jews, like blood Jews. I mean, it's hard for me because it's so dumb what he's saying. It's like I'm trying to. It's like it's hard to even grasp it. It's so dumb. It's like trying to see something that's not there. That's how dumb it is. So, but he'll say, okay, he'll go read verse 5, and then somehow this is Jews. But if you just, I'll read it in Greek in a second, so you can just get literally what it says. By whom we have received the grace and the apostleship of obedience to the faith among all the nations for his name, amongst whom you are also the called of Christ. So he's saying you also, meaning there's somehow Jews. Somehow it's talking to Jews, even though it says also Gentiles. See, it's so dumb. Look. So then, in all, it's an adjective, in all the ethnos, and ethnos is where we get the word ethnicity. That's what will be translated nations or Gentiles, but it means it's ethnicities. Who pair under the onomatos, the onoma, that's translated his name, but this word here, onoma, means authority, the authority. So like if you'll say, that's his name, not name like Johnny or Bill. It's like name, like authority, like stop in the name of the law. The authority, autou, of Jesus. In whom being, stay, in whom be, and you, and I'm sorry, and whom be, and you, kletoi, called, Jesus Christus. Okay, so what he's saying, it's so dumb. The you are the called, and whom you also, he's stuck on the word also, I think, which is the word kai right here. Kai is mostly translated and in the Bible, or it means like even, like even, like it's like also the same as. So it's like all the Jews, all the Gentiles under the authority of Christ, and also being even you called of Christ, which is referring back to the antecedent of being under Christ. You're called by Christ, you're under Christ. You, the Gentiles. It's like Gentiles. It's almost like you say there's not even Jews. He's not even talking to Jews, the way he's wording it. But somehow he gets it's just Jews there. And he's writing the letter like I said, he's writing the letter to Rome. He's never been there. There's Jews and Gentiles there. People know that for a fact. I mean, you could just read the rest of the Bible. You can see, of course, there's Gentiles there. And what makes matters even worse, it's the next verse confirms who it is, because this is the introduction to the letter. So you see they'll put in the semicolon here, which means there's further information about who he's greeting. To all who are in Rome, beloved of God, called to be saints. And see, so then he gets hung up on this word called. Well, that's just Jews. But no, he's saying called to the Gentiles. And now he says to all are in Rome. Called. Hagios. So, and look, it's the exact same word. He's talking to all in Rome, Jews and Gentiles, called of God. Called of God to be hagios. Hagios means to be set apart. And set apart is referring back to the antecedent, to be under the authority of God. That's how you set apart. The inner man, outer man. Here's death to self. Even here's death to self is there. And the guy just, I don't know, it's so ridiculously stupid. It's hard to even know what to say. And also this notion of a ambiguous antecedent is really silly. He talks about an ambiguous antecedent as if he's discovered something that's a game changer. It's really silly because okay, first of all, if you don't know what an ambiguous antecedent is, it's really simple. It's an antecedent means a sentence or phrase or whatever that comes before something. It means before. And ambiguous, of course, means it's not clear. But there's no phrase or sentence that comes before any of this stuff that's not clear. You could so if you go to 6 and you look at the whom or the you, right? The whom or the you, well, that's not that itself is not an unclear sentence or phrase, because then in the next sentence it tells you to all in Rome. It's like, and then if you go to the sentence before that, it's under in all the ethnos, which is it's even got a definite article to tell you who it is, the ethnos. So there's nothing ambiguous about that at all. I mean, like, where are the guys coming from? It's this is pride. That's all it is coming from the guys. It's pride to save his face. I think the guys, he made this for members. I don't know if he changed that after, because I got this recording before he did that. I don't know what's going on, but he's even got people in his own. He's even got his own liberal free will worshipers in his chat saying, "Hey, look, buddy, we need to talk. You're going off the deep end here." Because see, if you're new and you're coming across this stuff, this guy just tried to go do a debate, which he shouldn't have been doing, with a Greek professor, and he knows no Greek. And he got stuck in the debate saying, Romans 1, chapter 1 through 8 was about the Jews only. Blood Jews, man. And now I think he's just trying to save face. It's pride. It's the lust of the flesh and the pride of life. That's exactly what this is, which is what the Bible's about. If the guy just swallowed his pride, people would be forgiving to him, including myself. But you baby believers, you got to watch out for people like this, man, who's being prideful. And you know, man, and the false preachers, you got to understand, they're the nice guys. The doctrine of the devil comes from the nice guys. That the devil doesn't come out, you know, screaming and yelling, you know, red spandex and horns type of a thing. He comes out all nicely dressed, you know, looking good, you know, talking soft, speaking easy, being nice to everybody. That's how the devil comes, man. The devil doesn't come otherwise. So if you're new and you're a baby believer and you come across this stuff, look out, man. This is real easy. This should be real easy. No one should have to explain this. That's how dumb this is. That's how ignorant it is. And I know we talked about, I think, verse 113. At least he mentions this verse. Do not want you to be unaware. Well, guess what? That's this Greek word right here, agnoane. It means ignorant. That word right there is, so when I call people ignorant, that's a Bible word, and there's one of them. There's another case where it is right there, agnoane. It means ignorant, unaware. See, they're trying to be nice. And it's the word ignorant. Don't be ignorant, which is what this guy's being, is ignorant. He's ignorant. He's being ignorant, and he is ignorant because he's putting out ignorance. So, you know, hopefully God will get him. And if he's a child of God, God will get him. He'll get him for this. He'll smash his pride. Humble under the mighty hand of God. If he's a child of God, he'll get humbled under the mighty hand of God for what he's doing right here. And I hope so. So that's it. New believers, baby believers, do not fall for this crap, because it is pure nonsense.